Welcome to SGS Arts. So today I'm gonna do a video on double bills, 20 great double bills in fact. So today I was compiling this list of possible double bills that one could watch, and there is a nice mix here, both art house films but also even like fun action movies. So I tried to choose different types of films so that it wouldn't be too boring and rigid of a list, but I wanted to have a wide-ranging and colorful list instead. Yeah. So I have had this type of video idea for quite a while, although the video idea hasn't been on my radar lately. But then yesterday I was thinking that what type of videos I could do around Christmas time, and I thought that this would be a really fun video. And I think it's a good timing to do this now as people are gonna watch lots of films during this time of year, so maybe you can get some recommendations from this list, although many of these films are films that I cannot talk about all the time on my channel in various like list videos and other types of videos, although there are some films here that I haven't talked about as much too, but like you see here in the first part of the video, like the few posters that you see here, that these are all films that I have talked about. But yeah, anyway, hopefully you enjoy this video and let me know your suggestions for double bills. I would love to hear them. And you can also let me know what you think of any of these films that I'm talking about here. And do you agree that any of these double bills would be good double bills? Yeah. And by the way, I haven't done many or any of these double bills, although I might do them sometime in the future, we'll see. But we are gonna start with a double bill that I have had in my mind for a long time, even though I've never done it myself. And I think I even mentioned this double bill recently in a podcast I did with the Nerd List on our favorite movies. So the first double bill is two 60s Japanese movies from two very important directors. They are both important for Japanese cinema, but also very important to me personally. So we have Masaki Kobayashi's Harakiri and Nakisha Oshima's Death by Hanging. Both of them are among my favorite movies of all time, and Harakiri is even my top 5, but Death by Hanging is also very amazing. And I could actually do this double bill soon as it's been a few years since I last watched Harakiri, even though I've seen it 3 or 4 times, and then Death by Hanging I've only seen once, and it's been quite a while since I watched that too, so I'm really due for a rewatch, especially with Death by Hanging. Yeah. But what I'll do in this video is that I'll can talk about these movies a bit, but I'll mostly kind of focus on why I think like these double bills would be good. Like why do these films fit together well? So I think with Harakiri and Death by Hanging, obviously they are Japanese, they're from the 60s, so in that way they are similar. They are both black and white films. They are both from very political directors, they are very political films also. But the main reason I put them as a double bill is the similar themes that they have. So Harakiri is, of course, a kind of a samurai film. It's about these samurai that go to a samurai establishment to they say that they want to commit harakiri, but maybe they don't actually want to commit a harakiri, but then they are forced to commit harakiri. But if you look at the film past that hypocrisy of the samurai code, it's actually a way like a kind of a more wide-ranging critique on power and authority. And there's even this kind of class analysis in the film, how the samurai establishment is kind of like the upper class, and the people that go there are kind of like the working class, and you can also look at the samurai establishment as the state. And then the people that go there as the citizens that are oppressed by the state. That's kind of how I look at the film. But then Death by Hanging is about capital punishment. It's a satire, so it's actually a really funny film as the satire's done really well, and it's also about the kind of tension between South Korea and Japan, and also kind of the racism and xenophobia there. So both of these films are about these very big political issues. Although Harakiri is this kind of very dense, darker, bleaker film, while Death by Hanging is a satire and a funny film. So the tone of the films are very different. So if you were to do this double bill, I would suggest that watch Harakiri first and then Death by Hanging after that, as Death by Hanging will kind of brush over that darkness from you. Yeah, because you will feel like really bleak and dark after you've watched Harakiri, but then Death by Hanging will make you laugh, so you will feel good after you finish Death by Hanging. Yeah, but yeah, the themes of the films are very similar. Again, both kind of anti-authority, anti-power films, and they both make fun of the elites, and the powerful, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, love both of these films. I think both of them are must watches. Yeah, yeah, great films by two great directors. But then we have a really kind of obvious double bill, as both of them are about conversion therapies in America, so it's kind of makes sense to watch them. Although they aren't kind of tonally that similar, because But I'm a Cheerleader is kind of like a dark comedy, although it has like very dark and sad scenes as well, so it kind of mixes different tones together. But the Miseducation of Cameron Post feels more of a like a traditional drama. Although I've seen But I'm a Cheerleader a couple of times, but Cameron Post I've only seen once, and I don't remember it as well as I remember But I'm a Cheerleader, so I might get some things off when I talk about Cameron Post. Yeah, but I myself prefer But I'm a Cheerleader a bit more, because to me it's a more of a stylistic movie, and it's also I love the humor in it. Although then in some other ways Cameron Post is a better movie, as it is a bit more recent, so it doesn't have some of those like stupid stereotypes that But I'm a Cheerleader has, and it feels kind of more contemporary. Obviously, but I'm a Cheerleader in some ways feels dated, but not in the or not to the extent that it would ruin the whole movie. But there are certain kind of portrayals of certain minor characters that feel like bit kind of stereotype-esque and bit stupid. But I don't really mind that, but I know some people do mind that. Yeah. But I really like both of these films, and I might be rewatching these both very soon. But I'm a Cheerleader, I'm at least planning to rewatch, but we'll see about Cameron Post. And if I'm not rewatching it soon, I will definitely rewatch it at some point at least. Yeah. But two interesting and important queer films about very important topic. Yeah. Then we have another queer double bill. This is a very obvious one as well. So it's Fassbinder's Queer L, his final film. Then James Bidgood's Pink Narcissus. So both of these are very stylistic gay fantasy films. So there are very similar types of films, although Queer L has more of a plot to it. It has more characters, and also it has lots of dialogue, while Pink Narcissus leans almost entirely to experimental filmmaking. Both of them are very colorful films, although in very different ways. I love both of them stylistically, and yeah, to me these are among the best gay films ever made. I've watched both of them twice. I rewatched both of them this year. Yeah, incredible films. So again, as they are quite similar, both are gay fantasy films. Both are quite out there, fairly experimental, especially Pink Narcissus. And both are kind of like queer persons, queer films, like I always say. Yeah, these would be a great double bill. And I think if you were to watch these like back to back, I think it would only total to like around 3 hours or something like that. So it would be a very doable double bill. And they are very entertaining watches. Not necessarily in the traditional sense of that word, but in a different way. Yeah, in a hornier way. So yeah, love these films. Love these films. And this next one I just came up with. Um, this not might not be as obvious at first, but it's Eric Rome's A Tale of Winter and Jacques Demy's The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. So these both films are about true love, and that's why I chose them. I would choose The Umbrellas of Cherbourg as the first watch of this double bill as it ends sadly, but Tale of Winter has more of a happier and miracle-like end portion to the film, so I would rather watch Cherbourg first. Although if you actually look at the films from a visual standpoint, Cherbourg is way more happier and colorful, but Tale of Winter looks pretty bleak actually, and very kind of realistic and naturalistic. Yeah, but yeah, again, I chose them because they are about true love. Both are very romantic, beautiful films, but very different as well. One is very stylistic, again, one goes more for the realism in the visual style, but not necessarily in the plot, as it has that kind of big miracle scene, which some might say isn't very realistic, but obviously it's possible in a real life to have that type of miracle as well. Yeah. And Peaches actually wrote a review of Tale of Winter today. It was a really beautiful review. I loved reading it. It made me really horny for some romance. So hopefully Peaches can make my daydreams come true in that way. Yeah. But yeah, what a beautiful review. Yeah. And he actually mentioned Jacques Demy briefly in that review, I think. So that also makes me think that what a great double bill this would be. And I was actually at first thinking of having Lola, Jacques Demy's Lola, with a Rome film, but then I ended up doing this double bill instead, as I thought that, oh yeah, these films actually fit perfectly together in a way. Yeah, and obviously both of these are among my favorites, and I'm actually thinking of maybe watching Cherbourg at Christmas, although I'm not sure whether I want to cry in Christmas, but as that film will make me cry in the end. And one more thing to mention is obviously the Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Like the ending is obviously in the winter time in the gas station, and obviously Tale of Winter is, yeah, it's winter, so that kind of makes them fit together as well. And obviously they would now be a perfect double bill for this time of year. But as I watched Tale of Winter just like 4 or 5 months ago, I don't feel like watching it again quite yet. But yeah, beautiful films, beautiful films. I think Tale of Winter is probably a deeper film, but Cherbourg is more beautiful stylistically and maybe it packs a bit more emotion, but both of them are just amazing films in many of the same ways, but also in some different ways. Yeah, would recommend both of them and essential French cinema. So now we have more of a fun, fun double bill. So we have Rowdy Harrington's Roadhouse, my favorite cheesy action movie of all time. Then we have the Van Damme movie Bloodsport. Can't remember the director because okay, with these types of films I really care who directed them. But anyway, so I thought that these would be a great double bill. Both of them are obviously from the 80s or late 80s, we could say. Both of them are quite homoerotic as well. Like Van Damme in Bloodsport, like he's so gay. Like even his voice is so soft in a way, but obviously he's like really badass in it. But yeah, again, this is my type of action. Like I really don't like very serious action movies. I like more of these kind of over the top, cheesy, fun ones that don't take themselves too seriously because again, action movies, again, when you have those ridiculous plots and ridiculous characters, why take yourself seriously when those plots just aren't serious to begin with? Yeah. And yeah, very homoerotic films. Have both of them have great fight scenes. Both of them are shot well for action movies, and yeah, they are just a blast. Bloodsport I've seen only once, but I remember that I liked it a lot. And but it's kind of that it's so bad, it's good type of film. So is Roadhouse in a way. Yeah, yeah, love these movies. Somebody should say to Van Damme, "I used to fuck guys like you in prison." Again, that great line, one of the greatest lines in cinema history. Woods Roadhouse over a Bloodsport in my rankings, but both are fun action movies. Didn't Bloodsport even get some like new release? Recently, I remember somebody talking about it, but yeah, yeah, and another fun double bill. So these are just kind of okay. The thing that makes these films a bit similar is that they both have these stupid frat boy characters. So we have Rennie Harlins, the Covenant that I have talked about quite a lot in my channel. It has these frat boy bitches that are all assholes. I mean, Caleb is kind of nice, I guess, but the other ones are assholes. And there's so much homoeroticism in that film. And this kind of fits perfectly in the mid 2000s as it was kind of the time just before Twilight came out and didn't like Vampire Diaries start like around this time as well, a couple years later. So again, those pretty boy made for teenage girls movies. And I actually at first I had Twilight here, but then I figured out that I actually only want to have films here that I like, and I don't like Twilight. Yeah. So then I added one of my like big favorites from my teenage years. This is one that I accidentally stumbled on when it was on TV, and then I kind of got addicted to it. I'll actually show you this for Peaches. Look, Peaches, who it is here. It's Kevin Wolchuk. Yeah, yeah, your favorite. Okay, and apparently when Peaches plays the fuck, marry, kill game, that I'm also a big fan of that game, but apparently this guy right here is the kind of fuck option that he goes with whenever he plays that game. But this is basically MMA film. It's these kind of high school like frat boyish looking assholes like doing MMA and fighting, and there's like hot woman in there as well, obviously. But this is a really stupid film, but I for some reason still like this a lot. I guess it's because it has so many hot people in it. But there's actually one like really good performance here is by like Jimon Honsu. Sorry, I probably mispronounced that, but I really like him. He's this kind of mentor to our main character. He has this dojo where he trains like young guys, and he's like, yeah, martial arts is important for the mind and the body, but you shouldn't use it to beat up people, but you should just do it to be healthy and to control your emotions and stuff like that. So he's a great mentor. Yeah. I actually prefer Cam Chikandet here more than in the OC because here he looks kind of less of an asshole and he looks nicer here, so he's a bit more attractive to me in this film than in the OC, although he's really an asshole here too, but at least he dresses a bit better. Yeah. But a fun, stupid movie. That's like the perfect movie for like Friday night when you are exhausted and you want to watch something stupid. Yeah. So Peaches, you need to watch both of these films. Yeah. Never Back Down has that kind of teenage soap opera garbage in it that I know you laugh as I love that too. So yeah. But yeah. Well, now we have kind of fun and stupid films, but made in an art house way. We have Kamikaze Girls, and we have Anti-Porno by Sion Sono. So these I chose to get or I put together because both of them have fun, charming, and insane female characters that I love. Both of them are extremely colorful films, very stylistic films, very fun films, and both of them kind of mix lowbrow and highbrow together. So there are many kind of stylistic things why they fit together as well. And again, characters are a bit similar. Like you can see this shot, I used this for one of my thumbnails once, but very colorful shot. And again, Kamikaze Girls is full of colors as well. So yeah, but I would really recommend this film to people. I think this is such a great film, but not that many people talk about it. Yeah, again, this is all about the kind of all about sex and sexuality and the taboos surrounding sex and sexuality, especially the female sexuality, and it kind of tries to talk about those subjects in a very intense, insane, and direct and raw way and very stylistic way. So it's a great movie. But if you just see the movie, you look at the plot and don't really look at it with an analytical lens, you are gonna say that yeah, it's a fucking stupid nut job of a movie. But it's actually quite deep thematically, and it also plays around with the structure a lot, and there's this kind of meta element to it, just like there is in Sion Sono's other movie, Why Don't You Play in Hell? But yeah, again, I love this movie, and it's a very short movie. I think again 76 minutes, and it says here that it's in on movie, at least in the movie US. So I would highly recommend this to people. And this, I think, this would be like such a great double bill, like absolutely insane double bill, and you will probably feel pretty intense, hyper, and weird after this double bill, but it will be worth it, I promise. And this double bill would also be only like 3 hours, maybe 3 hours, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But these are both like very quick movies. There's constant things happening and they're very entertaining. So this would be a double bill that I might try sometime in the future. Yeah. So this next one is quite obvious. So I'm not gonna talk about these that much as I've only seen these films once and been quite a while. But I really need to rewatch both of these. I have both of them on Blu-ray. But we have Vera Hytilova's Daisies, probably the most famous film of the Czech New Wave. Then we have possibly Rivet's most famous film, or at least usually his most kind of highly ranked film if we look at these kind of canonical lists and stuff. So it's Celine and Julie go boating. Yeah. So both of these films are very anarchic, kind of cryptic, weird, and they both kind of have as the main characters two young women. So that's kind of why they are good double bills again. Both are pretty weird art house stuff, and again, both focus on two young women. But they are stylistically, even though they both are weird, very different looking films and have a different vibe as well. I would probably currently say that I prefer Celine and Julie Go Boating a little bit to Daisies, but that could change. Yeah, and Celine and Julie Go Boating is a fairly long movie, over 3 hours, but Daisies is a quite a very short movie, but again, it probably would be like 4.5 hours or something like that if you watch both of these. Yeah, but great movies I need to rewatch, like I said. So yeah, and I've seen other people put this as a double bill too, so it's not just me. Then this one would be great. So it's again another Jacques Rivette movie, Duel. And then we have the David Lynch modern classic, Mulholland Drive. So again, both of these films actually also have two young women as the characters, and both of these films are about identity. Both of them are beautiful, stylistic, weird, and cryptic, and okay, both of them have weird structures as well. I mean, almost every single Rivette film has a weird structure. And, well, it's almost the case with David Lynch films as well, although obviously he has made a couple of films that are a bit more normal, like Straight Story and Elephant Man. Yeah. But yeah, similar themes, similar plots, you could say even similar characters, but also in many ways they are very different films too. So yeah, this to me would be a pretty obvious double bill and fairly long double bill, probably close to 5 hours. So yeah, then this is a very obvious double bill too. So it's Robert Altman's Three Women and Ingmar Bergman's Persona. Obviously, you could say that these films have bit similar themes than the previous two that we talked about. They're about again identity in both of these films. There are two female characters. I actually, when I was doing this list, I didn't think of like putting these three double bills together on the list, but these are actually all like very similar double bills, and you could actually switch some of these films around here, and they would be a good. You could make like different good double bills here. Yeah, but I think Robert Altman always said that he got the idea for Three Women from one of his dreams or something like that. But I think it's pretty clear when you watch the film that Persona has also influenced it, although you never know. Yeah, and again, I love both of these films, but Persona to me is clearly the superior film. But Three Women is a big classic and amazing film too, and Sissy Spacek and Shelley Duvall give Liv Ullmann run for her money. Yeah, again, the four actresses in both of these films are just great. Yeah, both are beautiful looking films as well, but yeah, I put them here together as they have similar themes and vibes and characters. So yeah, this is maybe a bit less obvious, but the problem here is that again, many people who are watching this haven't seen these films, especially the Wayward Cloud, I think so. But anyway, so the reason I put these together is kind of the similar theme. Again, both of them are kind of about alienation, and they are about kind of how people try to find human connection and happiness and kind of spark to their lives by doing something weird. So in Three Iron, this guy goes to apartments, other people's apartments when they are not around, and hangs out there, takes pictures. But then in the Wayward Cloud, people get obsessed about watermelons and they have weird sex and they have all these fetishes and everything in it. So, but both two different ways of trying to find happiness and meaning in a world where it's really hard to find meaning. And I mean, even stylistically, they're a bit similar. Obviously, Three Iron is Korean New Wave and the Wayward Cloud is Taiwanese New Wave. So there are certain similarities, although many differences as well. But both films have like still shots and stuff. The Wayward Cloud is a bit more um, still, and obviously, Chiming Liang's films are slow cinema, so they are a bit different. But and also against Chiming Liang doesn't like dialogue, not much dialogue in his films, so that's actually the similar thing in Three Iron that the main character and the woman that he meets, they don't really talk. So that's kind of another similarity that I didn't think about when I was putting this list together, but now I kind of see that similarity. And obviously, this is from 2004. This is from 2005. So yeah, but yeah, I would highly recommend these films. I absolutely love both of them, especially Three Iron, and more people should watch these and talk about them. So yeah. Then this one I've mentioned quite a lot. It's The Match Factory Girl by Aki Kaurismäki and Sean Dielmon by Chantal Akerman. I'm not gonna say the whole title as I don't know how to say these numbers in French, even though I've heard people say them, but again, I can't remember how to say them off the top of my head. But these are both about these female characters. Sean Dielmon. It's about a woman who doesn't really have anything in her life and she just peels potatoes and stuff. But then Match Factory Girl, we have this young woman who tries to kind of find happiness but doesn't really succeed as all the people in her life are awful. So they are both very sad films and slow films, although the Match Factory Girl is a very short film, but Sean Dielmon is quite a very long film. Yeah. But I think they would be fit together quite well thematically and in terms of the vibe as well, but they're also quite different in other ways. So yeah. Then this is a fairly obvious double bill as well. It's Bigger Than Life by Nicholas Ray and The Shining. I've seen both of these films in the cinema, and I loved seeing both of them in the cinema. Bigger Than Life was a first time watch in the cinema, and The Shining I had seen many times, but the Bigger Than Life just blew me away in the cinema. I still haven't seen it again, so I've forgotten quite a lot of it. But obviously, both of these films are about fathers that can kind of go nuts and want to kill their family. So yeah, so that's why they are here. But of course, they are very different films. Like if you take that kind of major plotting out of it, they are very different stylistically and even tonally. And yeah, and bigger than life again, you could say the ending kind of ruins the film. Shining has a great ending though, but but yeah, again, it's mostly about that one thing in the plot that makes them quite similar. Yeah, both are masterful films if you ask me. Then these films are fairly obvious as well. Again, it's Jacques Rivets The Nun and Ken Russell's The Devils. Both are among my favorites, and very top tier favorites too. So both of these films are about religious repression. There's also a bit of that oppression there too, yeah, to put it stupidly. Yeah. But of course, tonalities are very different films. Nun is this kind of more slower art house film, beautiful, way more subtle and subdued. But The Devils is way more comedic and absolutely insane and nuts and really challenges all types of taboos and norms. Yeah. I mean, The Nun does that too, but it's in a way more subtle way, like I said. So, yeah. Both are beautiful looking films. Both have great performances. Both are about very important themes. Both have interesting characters and both have great endings. But yeah, again, mostly the themes are so similar, so that's why I put them here, even though the themes are explored in a very different way. But both films do it in a beautiful way. Yeah. In The Devils, I love the insanity, but in The Nun, I kind of love the beauty and also the subtle bleakness, and also the fact that I really relate to the Anna Karina character as, even though again I'm not a nun or anything like that, but I can relate to her kind of feelings of being an outsider and things like that. So it's actually a very relatable film, even though it's about 17th century convents and Anna Karina as a nun. So yeah, so yeah, this was, I think, interesting double bill that I came up with today. So we have Eric Rome's Green Ray, possibly his most famous film. I just rewatched it a couple of weeks ago. Then we have Hamaguchi's Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy, my second favorite from him. So I've kind of chose these as both of them have kind of these scenes of characters kind of getting in these interesting social situations like very randomly. So there's this kind of sense of randomness in both of the plots. And both films are just kind of characters talking with other characters. So they are very similar stylistically. Of course, Hamaguchi, one of his major influences was Eric Rome. And one of his other major influences was John Cassavetes, who also did lots of films where people just talk. Although they, in Cassavetes films, they talk in a very different way with that kind of raw emotion and power. When in Hamaguchi and Rome films, the characters talk more calmly and kind of, you could say, more politely as well. Although again, in this Wheel of Fortune of Fantasy, we have three vignettes, and in the first vignette, the female character, when she goes to meet her ex-boyfriend and how they talk together, yeah, there's a bit of that intensity and weirdness and weird humor there as well. But I think with Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy, especially the second and the third vignette, are the things that to me um, make it like a fitting double bill for the Green Ray. Okay, both have focus on conversations, both have that randomness element there. Again, in the Green Ray, we follow this character Delphine, who doesn't trust men, but her friends and everybody in her life tries to put her with men, and they try to convince her of finding love, and then they, when she's alone and when she is with her friend, like they have these kind of random random situations where they meet kind of random people, sometimes men, and once she meets a Swedish tourist in a beach and stuff. So yeah, again, stylistically they are also fairly similar. They have a very kind of naturalistic color to them, both of these films, I would say. And yeah, but again, both are great films. Both I would highly recommend if you haven't watched them already. Yeah. Well, this next one might be quite of an upsetting double bill if you were to watch them. So we have Tsukamoto's Kotoko, which to me is one of the absolute best modern films, and then we have David Lynch's Inland Empire, which is a David Lynch film that even for a Lynch fanboy like myself is something that makes me kind of struggle with when I watch it. But I chose these films because they both have that kind of very the kind of crazy visual look to them. Mostly Inland Empire has the cheap looking digital look to it, and again I really don't like the visuals of Inland Empire, even though it fits the kind of themes of that broken identity and things like that. And Inland Empire is such a weird film. I really don't know what to say about it. I've only seen it twice, but that's one of the that might be the densest Lynch film, which says a lot. Yeah. But yeah, it's a crazy fucking movie. But so is Kotoko. It's about this young woman who has hallucinations and she doesn't really even feel alive, but she has to um hurt herself like with she cuts herself and everything to kind of feel alive and to kind of try to stay in touch with reality and stuff like that. So there are those similar types of things, and both in the plot and the characters, but also stylistically as well. Kotoko has pretty crazy kind of handheld cinematography that kind of resembles the state of mind that this main character is in with her very broken mind, broken identity. The cinematography really kind of adds to the adds to that thematic exploration of this character's mind. Yeah, so I think this would be a great double bill, although it would probably be pretty hard to fall asleep after watching these two films. But so if you were to do this double bill, it probably would be better to watch them in the morning or the afternoon and not in the evening before bed. But yeah, I probably would be a total mess if I watched these together. But yeah, this I think I mentioned this double bill in my latest collaboration with the Ronnie Nazarin guys and Chris Mohan. So these are both very bleak political Japanese films. So we have Masumura's Red Angel and Misoguchi's Shansho the Bailiff. So both of these films give a very bleak picture of Japan and humanity. There really isn't a moment of optimism in either of these films. Really bleak endings, both of them have, and both are beautifully shot. Okay, both are in black and white. Yeah, and of course Misoguchi always explored the state of women in Japanese society. Although Shansho the Bailiff, I think is kind of more about humanity in total and not just about women. But of course, Mizoguchi has some films where they are more about women, like Street of Shame or Woman of the Night, or those films, those two films, for example. I chose Shansho the Bailiff as I think it's Mizoguchi's masterpiece. And yeah, and again, even though Red Angel is a critique of patriarchy, it's not just that. There is more there as well. So yeah, but very similar films thematically and in terms of the tone and mood. Yeah. And even in terms of the characters, there is certain similarities there, but such masterpieces, both of them. Then we have two French New Wave films, Hiroshima Mon Amour being one of the first New Wave films, and then Wall Engravings is a bit more unknown and also came out a bit later. So we have Guy Gilles and Alain René, although with Hiroshima Mon Amour you also have to mention the writer, Marguerite Duras, of course. I said in a recent podcast that Wall Engravings is like a mix of Jacques Demy and Alain René. Yeah, and it's like Jacques Demy in terms of the kind of romanticism in it and also the colorfulness. But then it has that kind of a weird Alain Rene vibe to it as well. Yeah. And I was actually considering at first to have wall engravings with Ambulance of Cherbourg or Young Girls of Rochefort or even Lola. Then I decided that I'm gonna go with Rene as I already had Demi in another double bill here. So yeah. But yeah, both are beautiful films. Both have very weird style to them. Yeah. Both of them are kind of more about theme and aesthetic than about plots, although Hiroshima Mon Amour obviously it has a plot and stuff, but it's more about theme and style, I would say, structure. Yeah, but both of these films I absolutely adore. Such beautiful, challenging films. Then we have a couple of fun ones to end the video. So we have From Paris with Love, which is this great John Travolta movie. Then we have Training Day, great Ethan Hawke, Denzel Washington movie. So the reason I put these together is that From Paris with Love kind of feels like a remake of Training Day, but it's not as good, although you could argue that it's more fun than Training Day. So in Training Day, obviously we have these two policemen. We have Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, but Denzel Washington is that pretty kind of rough type of guy, again, into trucks and into making money and stuff. So he's kind of a dirty cop, or however you say that. But so is John Travolta in From Paris with Love, and he mentors the younger agent Jonathan Rhys Meyers, played by Jonathan Rhys Meyers. And in both of these films, the older cop makes the younger cop do trucks and stuff. So that's I think it's pulled straight from Training Day. Yeah, and both Denzel Washington and John Travolta are very intense characters as well, very badass characters. They are both the kind of highlights of their respective movies. Yeah. And From Paris with Love, I believe, is on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's such a fun kind of turn your brain off. It's so bad, it's good type of movie. I would highly recommend that. Yeah. Like John Travolta is absolutely ridiculous in it. Like he's like doing coke at the Eiffel Tower. And again, the younger cop doesn't want to do the coke there, but John Travolta forces him to do the coke. Yeah. And John Travolta even says Royal with cheese in this movie. Yeah. Yeah, it's so much fun. I kind of want to watch it now. It feels a bit racist, to be honest, in the way how it kind of all the villains in it are from some ethnic minority. There are some like Asian migrants in there that are like awful gangbangers, and then they obviously have the terrorist element to it. But yeah. But anyway, all of these are really fun movies. Neither of them are masterpieces, although Training Day I think is a genuinely good movie. But From Paris with Love isn't, but it's so fun. Fun, nonetheless. Yeah. Then these are just kind of some of my comfort movies, I think. Again, both are such fun films. They don't really have any connection to each other, at least that I can think of, but I just really enjoy these movies. Yeah, so we have Like Mike, which stars Lil Bow Wow and Jonathan Lipnicki, Crispin Glover and Robert Forster. What a great cast. So we have this orphanage in Like Mike, and then they find Michael Jordan's old sneakers, and then the Lil Bow Wow character puts them on, and then he becomes the best basketball player in the world, and he goes to NBA when he is 13 years old, and he isn't even tall for his age, but actually quite short. But then he becomes this great player. But then Jonathan Lipnicki is another orphan, and he has to stay in the orphanage, and then Crispin Glover is extorting him that if you don't tell me this information, I'm gonna burn your mother's picture, the only picture your mother has. Like that's like one of the funniest scenes of all time, and though it sounds kind of disturbing, but it's so fucked up. Like Jonathan Lipnicki is a cutesy kid, and Crispin Glover is this fucked up like owner of the orphanage, and yeah. And Robert Forster, he is the Is he the coach or the general manager of the team in LA? I don't remember. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I love basketball, so that's one of the reasons I kind of connect to this movie. But it's so much fun. It has even some DMX on the soundtrack. Great soundtrack. Yeah. They're playing basketball. We love that basketball. I got the rock in my hands. They don't tell him what I'm gonna do with it. Yeah. Hit you with that MJ fadeaway. Yeah. Now I need to find the lyrics, and yeah, it's funny how I often always remember these lyrics when I'm singing them alone, but every time I want to do them for a video, I forgot them. But yeah, now basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. I keep it so fresh on the microphone. I like no interruption when the game is on. I like slam dunk to take me to the hoop. Favorite play is the alley-oop. I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go. In this basketball powwow, let's go. I got the rock in my hands. They don't tell him what I'm gonna do with it. When I got possession, I'm act a fool with it. I might cross you up, fake one way, turn around and hit you with that MJ fadeaway. I'm throwing dime passes like Jakey, taking catches to the rack and dunking on them like T-Mac. When I'm in the paint, I play with that Alonso style. I'm like Darius cause I can shoot 2 miles. Yeah, I think that's that's enough. That's a song that I've always loved to rap. And you can see that I might be the next Kendrick Lamar. I might have to start writing lyrics for my own version of To Pimp a Butterfly, and maybe I will become a millionaire finally. And yeah, but anyway, but then we have this fun Martin Lawrence movie that I had on VHS as a kid, and I watched it all the time. It's called Blue Streak, and Martin Lawrence is the main character. He is a thief. Then he goes to jail, but just before he goes to jail, he has to hide a like really like expensive diamond that is worth like millions, and he hits that in a like an air conditioning, like the pipes, like in the roof or whatever, and but then when he comes back from prison, the building where he hid it has become a police station, but the diamond is still in the air conditioning pipes or whatever. So then he has to fake a police ID and a CV with an old kind of criminal friend of his, and then he becomes a police officer, and everybody loves him because he knows how to catch criminals, and he's so funny and everything, so cool. And yeah, that's such a fun plot that Martin Lawrence just goes 110% in this with the jokes and stuff. And it's just so entertaining. It's just that kind of old school kind of cop, cop and robbers, cops and robbers type of like comedy, action comedy. Yeah, it's stupid as fuck, but it's just so much fun. And I've watched this a couple of times as an adult when it's been streaming on Netflix or whatever, and I've still really enjoyed it. Again, it's a really stupid movie, just like Mikey's or from Paris with Love is, or Bloodsport is, or Roadhouse is, but they are fun and stupid in a really great way. Yeah. Again, another perfect Friday night movie after you have had an exhausting week and you want to have pizza and enjoy yourself. Yeah. Would highly recommend that. Yeah. But anyway, let me know what you think of these movies. Let me know if you think these double bills would work. Let me know what you think of my rapping skills. Let me know your suggestions for double bills, and let me know what films you are gonna watch on this holiday period. Happy holidays or Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching. Don't drink all the coke. Sayonara and arigato gozaimashita.